Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here, and ladies and gentlemen, as we find ourselves on the cusp of Disney's big venture into the world of streaming, even courting a war in the process, we thought it'd be nice to stay up to date on the ever-growing catalog and rule on what's a must or bust on Disney Plus. And tonight we are talking Muppets Now Episode 2 because everyone in this room takes the Muppets way too seriously. So let's introduce everyone. Joining us for the first time is probably, arguably, maybe the person who takes the Muppets the most seriously in this room. We got Ace Astro.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I do like the Muppets.
All right, and also I'm going to wager this guy probably has more of a personal attachment to the Muppets than anyone else. Monkey.
Hey.
And then we have the guy who's very analytically minded about the Muppets. He really likes to break down all he's like the brain behind our Muppets panel this evening. Give it up for Blue Dragon 5.
Yo.
And Mickey fans here too.
I knew that was coming.
Oh God. All right, how you doing, Claude Coringa? Nice to see you. Yes, indeed, DuckTales Season 3 returns on September 21st. Very much looking forward to that.
Hurrah!
They're Tiki and the brain. Oh, God. I'm honestly surprised that comparison has never come up in all the years we've worked together.
I mean, it's very apt.
It is.
Do I really get that much of an Orson Welles vibe? Do I really?
We'll get into it.
I'm saying, like, comparing your personality and my personality.
Okay.
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, God. All right, guys. So, Muppets Now, Episode 2. First of all, I want to take just one moment, since, of course, this show is kind of about, it's about the streaming wars in general. I actually have been using HBO Max for about a week. Guys, I gotta say, the thing that worried me about HBO Max was the lack of new originals. But, oh my God, that back catalog. Oh, man. HBO Max has the best catalog of any streaming service, bar none.
Yeah. I hear they have Crashbox. Holy hell, yes!
There's so much.
They have Studio Ghibli films.
Studio Ghibli, Turner Classic. Honestly, I would pay a good $7 a month just for the Turner Classic Movie section alone. I mean, that Turner Classic Movie section is stacked.
And Looney Tunes.
And Looney Tunes, yes. I mean,
yeah.
So, guys, I just gotta acknowledge. I do think HBO Max is a little overpriced right now at $15 a month. I'm not gonna lie, but I think it's got by far the best lineup in terms of back catalog. Their originals are struggling a bit.
What do you mean? They're getting the Snyder Cut. They're fine.
Snyder Cut is going to be a garbage fire.
Snyder Cut notwithstanding
since the release of Snyder Cut thing began, that Snyder Cut has always been a garbage.
All right. We don't need to go down the Snyder Cut, bro.
Well, you're the one who brought up HBO Max, and I think you're going somewhere with this point.
Yeah, okay, more on topic. Release the Henson Cut.
Okay, so Claude's got some things. Claude, how do you guys feel about there being less of Kermit this episode? Claude, we will get to that in our initial thoughts on this episode. Don't you worry, buddy. I have things to say about that. Also, he says, I suggest you guys do a podcast on Close Enough. And yeah, Claude, I'm definitely going to check it out. I've heard good things that will probably happen at some point. I can't guarantee it's going to happen like this month, but it'll happen.
Yeah, no guarantees to my presence on there, but I've seen like 2 clips of it that were good.
Cool. I'm thinking if anything, I'll do it with Jacob, because Jacob's the only one I know who has Disney Plus and would be interested in that show. So,
You mean HBO Max?
yes, I mean HBO Max. I'm sorry, I realized that as soon
You,
as it came out of
you
my
think you're
mouth.
signing up for Disney Plus? You get HBO Max instead. Your kid turns on Game of Thrones or something.
No. Your kid turns on Oz because they think it's Wizard of Oz.
Hey, it's the guy from the
that works,
Spider-Man movies. This is going to be great for the kids.
How many people do you think have actually made that decision? Haven't made that mistake?
I would hope at least
More than
one,
zero.
because it would be
More than
funny.
zero. All right,
I
guys.
guarantee you, there's got to be at least like 5 people who have made that mistake.
Again, why, Tiki? What was your point going with the HBO Max
Greg,
again?
my point is that Disney Plus has competition. That's my
There
point.
you go.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Can't
right.
get HBO Max in Canada, so
Oh.
no competition for me.
All right. Okay, so
Oh,
let's
Canada.
do our thesis statements. Ace, you weren't around last week for the podcast, so I want you to tell us what you think of just both episodes, kind of your overall thoughts on the show after 2 episodes.
Yeah, so my overall thought after 2 episodes is it has potential. I mean, I don't think it's gotten quite there yet, but the second episode, and at least in my opinion, was easily way better than the first. So I'm excited for the third one after this, because if it continues in this trend, I think it'll be quite strong for the last 4 episodes. But I wasn't super happy with the first episode overall, but I thought the second one was much more true Muppets almost.
All right. Okay, so my thoughts on episode 2, I definitely agree with Ace. I had major problems with, I got to admit, pretty much every sketch in the first episode except for Lifestyle with Miss Piggy. I mean, the RuPaul thing was good too, but the middle 2 sketches in that episode I had major problems with. But this is definitely a major improvement. And to speak to Claude's point about the lack of Kermit, I am subconsciously wondering, especially because I feel like this show can be edited on the quick and on the fly. You know, it's almost like I feel like they could potentially just put in whatever they want. I'm wondering if they're just going to try and downplay Vocal Kermit, because Vocal Kermit definitely got a negative reaction in the first episode. And I will say that the one line that Vocal Kermit had in this episode was honestly probably more spot on than any line he had in the first episode. But yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do about that, man. It's a conundrum. I mean, I feel like with Vocal Kermit, the more we hear him, like the more he talks, the more noticeable it is. So I don't know. By the way, I just want to kind of point out something that's interesting. Dragon, did you happen to catch Captain Logan's discussion on Muppets Now?
I did.
So yeah, they really went gaga over the photo bomber sketch, much to my surprise. So you know what, and the people that were reviewing that, you know, I think they're like maybe like 5-10 years older than me. So they're like arguably a more mature audience than I am, and they got into it. So you know what, I'm gonna say, like, I was probably a little too harsh on the photo bomber thing, and like, oh, the Kermit I know would never do that. I don't know. Like, to be honest with you, hearing someone talk positively about that sketch kind of made me sort of stop in my tracks to be like, oh God, maybe I'm being too pretentious about this.
Yep, that's what
Yeah,
happens.
if only a room full of people you were talking with could have told you that.
Right.
Yep.
But with this episode, I mean, just quickly going over it, I think the Pepe's game show is unbelievable. I think the title just really fits it well. It's easily the best sketch of the 2 episodes so far. Okey Dokey Kookin, definitely, I think this episode proves that this sketch is going to live and die by its guest star. Muppet Labs field test, I think it's kind of just okay. We'll get there. And then Lifestyle with Miss Piggy, honestly, I think it's maybe getting a little overplayed too soon. So that's kind of how I feel overall about this episode. And I got to say, I hate the framing device. We'll get into it. Let's see. I'm going to pull it to Dragon. What do you think?
So yeah, I thought this was a tremendous improvement from episode 1. Now again, episode 1 again, it was kind of like not 100% pilot. Like most pilots tend to be. You're testing the waters, and of course, might be a little bit of trial and error in the first one. You gotta get used to certain things. I don't know, maybe that came into play, maybe not. But I felt 2 was definitely an upgrade. Out of our 6 that we're getting. So again, apparently every episode really, really carries a lot of weight. Again, obviously, there's still a little bit of wait and see for the rest, but I think there were certain alterations, whether intentional or not, I can't speak to. But there was a minimal Kermit seems to be kind of the way we had to play with Matt Vogel Kermit, because again, when minimized, he works well enough. Works. It's still not perfect, but again, keep it minimal. It's hard to notice.
Yeah.
And we're punching up certain gags and certain segments. Kind of I think our new segments went over really well in my opinion. Again, some of our familiar ones, not all, but some, like the lifestyle style. Depending, again, I know it's style, but style is just funnier.
I hope that the arc of lifestyle is that Miss Piggy's eventually just going to embrace the lifestyle.
Oh, she'll never do that, friendo. Oh, she'll never. She'll never
She
do
wouldn't
that.
dignify pigging out.
But
Yeah,
it's
true.
they had some fun segments.
Yeah, sorry, Dragon. Go on. Sorry. Did he drop? Are you?
Don't
I guess
know.
he dropped. Dragon, hello, you there, buddy?
He comes back, voiced by Matt Vogel.
Oh God! All right, Monkey. What do you think?
This one, not a bad second episode. I'm not totally sure how I place it in comparison with the first one. Maybe each has its pros and cons. So
Okay.
yeah, I guess I don't have a ton to say. Like,
Right,
at least as a general thesis.
Gotcha. Mickey fan?
I found that this episode was a lot more even, but it didn't hit the highs that the first episode had, but it didn't hit those really big lows.
Right. I hear you. I feel that.
It was a lot more even, but there, Pepe aside, I wasn't, kind of this giddy, laughing fit as I was the first episode.
Okay. Also, I'm just going to throw out one observation I have. I think each individual sketch definitely goes on too long.
Maybe some more than others. I do feel that way with the Pepe one.
Okay, that's interesting because the Pepe one.
The Pepe one was the one that didn't outstay its welcome for me.
That's kind of how I felt too.
I think the one that's facing the most pacing issues is lifestyle. That's the one
100%.
that's facing the most
Mhm.
issues. That's the one we gotta keep an eye on.
Yeah. All right, Dragon, you back?
Yes. Well, I just respond. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, I know, but you cut out there. So anything you wanna say?
Yeah. Just as I said, I think it's kind of an improvement overall, but lifestyle seems to be the one that's at risk of going on way too long. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
disagree with it being
Yeah.
overplayed.
All right.
Possibility.
So let's get into the framing device, and I got to tell you guys, this was easily the worst part of the episode for me personally.
So it
I'd
looks
say
like
the
we're
framing
keeping this
device
going
worked better
forward.
in episode 1.
Yeah, I agree. Dragon, go ahead.
Yeah, it looks like we're keeping this going on, the whole scooter, kind of compiling all the stuff and uploading it. So
Which,
basically,
by all
what we,
means, I think it's a good idea for a framing device.
Absolutely.
I just didn't like this one. I thought this one was really overbearing.
But
Oh,
waka
that's
waka.
awful.
well, to be fair, there's a lot of bad bear puns in this framing device.
First of all, I'm just going to point out, Frank Oz's Piggy still absolutely 1,000% spot on.
You mean Eric Jacobson?
Well, Eric Jacobs. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. Okay, so who's doing Fozzie now then?
Still
Eric
Eric
Jacobson.
Jacobson. Yeah.
Okay. Eric Jacobson is Fozzie. I think his voice is maybe a little too high pitched here. It's just ever so slightly off. It's not nearly as noticeable as Vogel Kermit. Don't get me wrong.
If we're taking an honest accounting of all the Muppet performers having taken over and everything, Fozzie at times he's kind of drifted into that, but usually it kind of bounces out.
Okay, now was Jacobson in the Bobbit Muppet movies?
Yes.
Bobbin, I mean, okay. So yeah, I don't know. That's the comparison point for me, and for me, it's
Old same
weird.
guy. I was saying, it kind of drifts into it a little bit. It just can't be helped. But I hear you. He was a little high in this regard. Yeah, sure. But again, I kind of chalked it up to like the internet connection thing. Where if you have an issue with, he's not really even there. So I mean,
that's true. So as a YouTuber, I honestly think maybe the problem is that I found Scooter's frustration a little too real and relatable.
Yeah, or maybe like Fozzie being a bit too overbearing or something.
It was way too. He was way too much, man. Okay,
yeah,
you know what? When I said overbearing, I didn't even mean it as a pun. All right, it's just the adequate use. It's just the adequate word to use for this situation. All right.
I did like the episode title though, with this framing device, fever pitches, and Fozzie's pitching him a whole bunch of ideas.
Yeah.
Pretty clever. That's and there's one idea. I don't know if this idea is going to come back. I hope it does, because I read this like in a TV guide. It sounded like they're actually doing a sketch on this, but it was Agents of Shtick.
Oh yeah.
That was
What
hilarious.
was this thing where it was like a cooking show where the ingredients date each other?
Romantic. As in like
romantic, yes.
Stuff. Barometrics and Bear Witness. Bear Witness sounded funny. I gotta be honest.
I gotta be honest with you.
I noticed one of the things on Scooter's desktop was titled Ray's Request. But yeah, if they're gonna keep going this route, I probably meant it semi-jokingly last time we did this, but now that would be wonderful. I do hope they go the route of Scooter just getting progressively more unhinged as each episode goes on. Until he just flat out loses it.
I kind of want to see Kermit going off on Piggy
in
the last episode. I'm hoping that's what happens.
You mean you want to end another Muppet series with a cliffhanger?
Well, yeah, I don't think he's seen it.
You, Kermit, you don't sound like yourself anymore.
Oh boy! Oh fucking A! Muppets 2015.
Don't get me started on that. I wanted a second season so bad.
I know. I'm with you.
Yeah, so I'm sure we all noticed the cameo at the end on the Door Ding logo.
Remind me.
Pops.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, what do we all think of the incredibly brief bit of Joe from Legal that we got this episode?
I'm really interested by this Joe from Legal character. It seems really fun.
It just bothers me that he was all over the ad campaign, and he's like nowhere in the show yet. Although that'll change because apparently, I apologize if this is spoilers, Monkey, but apparently he's going to be. I apologize.
I heard him say it before the podcast started. So.
All right, yeah. Apparently, Joe from Legal is going to be the framing device interruption episode 3. So that'll at least be like a good kind of a good way to fully introduce the character.
What if he's trying to get to Scooter because Fozzie has disappeared after this episode?
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Well, remember, no, he's gonna be he's like the censorship guy, or like basically he might make fun of the YouTube constraints and everything, that sort of thing.
Yeah, as for his stuff in this episode, it was brief, not maybe his best material, but still nice to have him.
Yeah,
it was great.
He's like all legal cliches, and they use them for the disclaimer and everything. It's a nice. I don't know. I like Joe from Legal so far, but not a lot to go on, obviously. But I think there's some potential there.
Agreed.
All right.
I like him.
All right, so let's get into the first sketch. Quiz Hotshot. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I mean Pepe's unbelievable game show.
Yeah, this is a proper.
I saw your message about that before seeing the episode, and I watched, and it's like, yep.
I mean,
if they got the guy who was Ed from Ed, and Eddie, or acting like Ed.
No, please no. We don't need to see that guy ever again.
No, but seriously, this was like a proper lampoon of Pop Quiz Hotshot, kind of mocking that kind of like slyly.
I mean, do you really think it's actually like? I don't think it's actually referencing Pop Quiz.
No, I know
no,
it's
no.
not actually reference. I'm just saying it in the style of like kind of like a.
It's
like
just
a game show.
unbelievable how accurate to Pop Quiz Hotshot it actually.
That's what I'm
is.
saying. It's like a lampoon of that sort of thing done right. I don't think
Right,
it's actually
right.
like making a direct like wink nod to it. I'm just saying, no, us having seen Pop Quiz Hotshot, seeing how terribly that was, we're seeing the Muppets do it better. Is what I'm getting.
I mean, just the way that Pepe is just like handing out the points and just like,
Yeah,
yeah,
the points
it's
is
my show,
great.
okay?
It's just really funny, like just someone who doesn't care, but very on the surface. Like, yeah, I don't really care about this, but I'm fine. I can get away with it because
I mean, Pepe is just wonderful. I think he's absolutely the best like central figure of a sketch so far. Like he can totally carry a sketch for me.
And of course, they're definitely allowing him to improvise with the contestants here.
Oh, definitely. Cartoon?
Being in
Cartoon?
a challenge of trying not to laugh when you have a penguin referee and Pepe.
It was so funny.
We got a lot of good penguin comedy in this. I'm just going to get that out there right now.
And chicken comedy as well.
Right.
Yeah, between this and Linda Cardellini, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. I love the Carolina guy. We're going to get there, though. Anyway.
We'll get there.
So,
Okay, yeah, I think that of course Pepe, like one of the things I love about Pepe is that he just kind of runs with things, you know, like like at first he's like all disappointed that there's no audience, but then like he quickly gets into the soundboard and he's like, I love this, I love this.
135 takeoff.
All right. And then, I mean, there's not really a ton to say about the individual segments. I just think that, you know, Pepe's just total lack of commitment to anything mixed with Scooter is just a priceless combination.
That
Yeah.
would have
Swapping
been
out
something
Danny
if Robert
Jr.
Downey
with-
Jr.
Yeah,
did
the
show up.
secret guest joke was great. Like, who do you think the secret guest is? Robert Downey Jr.? Oh, that would have been great.
Nice.
Also, I'm gonna point out the Gonzo, when I actually saw Gonzo and interacted with him in person, he was wearing that same Chili Pepper shirt.
Nice.
Hey.
So yeah, which one is Camilla? That's easy. Just check under the chicken, see which Muppeteer is Matt Vogel.
Oh God. Yeah, the Camilla thing, of course, as you guys know, I have a history of asking Dave Coles personally about the Camilla and Gonzo thing, so that cracked me up that we
Well, this is going to be an awkward car ride home.
I actually guessed the right Camilla.
Well,
Did you
because
really?
Camilla had
Well, yeah,
I
yeah,
imagine
yeah.
it's probably like a shell. It's probably like shell game type thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God.
So there were feet being worn, but I think I got some of the socks were being worn, but I think I got the feet out.
Yeah.
Beauregard just in general.
Yeah.
I love Beauregard just kind of like just like standing around when he's done. Like, no, go.
Yeah, like I said, for me, this one did feel kind of like it went on a little long.
I feel like this one really it was like the perfect length. It wasn't too short, but it did.
I will say, out of the segments, I could have lost the sock one out of all the segments. That one was the most expendable.
Yeah, probably.
Poor Carol the Hamper.
Yeah.
Now we really could have used Big Mean Carl on that one, honestly.
Yes, we could have. Thank you. Oh my God!
I mean, literally, Big Mean Carl's whole shtick. I mean, it's literally.
Oh man, I have such a Mickey fan. Have you gotten around to watching any Muppets 2015?
Not yet.
Oh, dude, you gotta get in on it, man. Big
I'm watching
Mean.
Fraggle Rock right now. Give me a break.
Fuck 30 Rock.
Fraggle Rock.
Oh, Fraggle Rock. Okay, that's better. That's way better. That's way better.
Always ready to pounce on the poor show on the side, aren't you?
God, that was an amazing mix-up just now.
Yeah, 30 Rock, man. That's how it's called.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, 30 Rock, I have feelings about 30 Rock. I feel like that show is a little full of itself.
All right.
Okay, so moving on. Let's get into Okey Dokey Kookin.
So this, I think, is one of the standouts for sure. I mean, we
Absolutely.
finally cracked the code on this one.
Well, like I
After
said,
last week's discussion, when they mentioned that this week's guest had a mustache, I was seriously thinking, wait, is it gonna be Guy Fieri?
oh my god, that's the one I'm waiting for, dude.
Yeah.
Guy
Doesn't Fieri have a
Fieri?
goatee though?
Yeah,
Huh?
he does. Yeah, it's more of a
saying,
goatee.
I don't know where he really must
Guy
be.
Fieri, or the one that I'm really wanting, like the holy grail, like pull this guy out of retirement or whatever the hell he's doing. I want Emerald Lagasse, dude. I have such nostalgia for Emerald Lagasse's show.
This wouldn't play well, but I mean, a part of me would love it if they use the Emerald affect with like too many bams as his Swedish like ring ding ding as his like bam bam bam. Like,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Would never play, but it'd be funny to me.
All right, so I think Danny Trejo just absolutely proves that this sketch lives and dies by its guest star. I fucking underline that.
Yeah.
The mustache standoff had me.
Oh,
on
the
board
Mustache
with that.
standoff was amazing.
Yeah, I was fine with last week's guest star, but yeah, this is a new level. Like you get him playing on the same level as the Swedish chef instead of being a straight man.
They also kept the actual cooking tips concise.
Yeah. And like the fact that Danny Trejo was so clearly down to clown.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
I mean, the whole bit, like, if I tell you I'm going to have to kill you, subversion with it. If I tell you I'm going to have to marry you and sweep you.
Oh my
you
god,
out.
Danny Trejo is just being such a charmer to Beverly Plume.
This is like thing number 3.5 Danny Trejo's done with the Muppets over the last 10 years.
Also, recently he did something with Kidding, obviously too, with the whole him involved with with a great love of puppets. You know, like that's ukulele.
Ukulele.
Yeah, I love when Danny Trejo does comedy. The Madness and the Method Move, Jason Mewes. He's always doing comedy. When he as Mickeyfan, when he's down the clown, it's a party.
I think the one gag that maybe went on a little too long was the bit with his fingers.
Yeah.
It was like set up, man. It was great.
Yeah, I didn't mind it per se, but I gotta say though, I have never gotten used to Swedish Chef having human hands. Never. That has never sat right with me.
I had a mind blowing moment
from like the beginning.
I don't know. What? I think maybe the reason why it doesn't sit well with me is that my most vivid memory of Swedish Chef is Muppet Vision, and obviously that guy doesn't have human hands. So
that's what they want you to think.
Oh god.
Yeah, as a kid,
just took someone's hands and used them for the animatronic.
It's I was gonna say it's like you go up to the actual animatronic and it's like actual like realistic like molded human hands. Oh god.
Are
Anyways,
they Jim Henson's?
I don't know.
Well, wait, no. I think they're. Forget if at some point they were Frank Oz's
No,
hands.
I meant the animatronic's hands.
Oh, sorry.
Right. Okay, so I don't know. I think Beverly Plume worked a lot better in this than she did in the first one, just because I feel like to cater to Mickey Fan's impression, Mickey Fan's expression. I mean, Beverly Plume in this episode I felt was a little bit more down to clown. I feel like she was too self-serious in the first episode.
Yeah.
All right.
The mole taco versus the actual mole.
Oh my god!
Show.
It sounds like Miss Piggy.
Yep. So I don't like cilantro.
Just talking with the mouthful of cilantro.
But this is the thing. This is why I think this excelled amongst all the sketches, amongst all the segments. The Swedish Chef and Danny Trejo, they had their little over the top mustache off, but after the Swedish Chef, he samples his overly spicy dish. His mouth's on fire. He's asking for milk and everything. He was asking for regular moo juice or something. Danny Trejo brings him the milk and they bond over like that milk gesture. Like a token of friendship. It's so. I know that's where it really. I mean, I was already wondering. I was like,
probably wouldn't have been like practical or affordable to deal too much of a headache to deal with. But if he just like dumped the milk all over his face or something.
But I love that was more tender and nice, though. That was the
Right.
thing. It was a nice. Yeah, it wasn't like it's like over the top. Like, yeah, take this Swedish chef. Like, oh, let me help you, buddy.
I meant the chef doing it to himself.
Oh, right. Well, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
All right, Mickeyfan, were you saying something?
I want a Danny Trejo Swedish Chef buddy comedy.
Oh my god!
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh god.
Okay. No. Machete.
Oh god.
Chef Day, yeah.
We
Claude
do it
says-
like the John Favreau movie, which with him and Danny Trejo in the truck.
Claude says Danny Trejo voiced Boots in the live-action Dora movie. That is true. Has anyone seen the live-action Dora
Are
movie?
you kidding me?
Yeah.
He voiced Boots.
It was only for one scene, but yes.
Yeah, so yeah, give it. Yeah, thank you, advertising for the movie, for giving away that gag. Yeah, I was like, I saw that movie when it in theaters. I actually watched it again just like a few nights ago or something.
Is it not on Hulu?
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Yeah, check it out, guys. Seriously, that movie is
It is good.
It's way better than it has any fucking right to be.
Directed by James Bobbin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. That actually probably explains why it's so good, in spite of the fact that he did fucking Through the Looking Glass, which was
Yeah,
awful.
well, I know it also had it had Nicholas Stoller as one of the writers.
Okay.
So another Muppet connection.
Right? All right. It does kind of feel like a Muppet movie, if I'm being honest with you, in tone.
Right.
Anyways, so let's get to the next segment. Muppet Labs Field Test.
This is my runner-up. I really like this. This too was an MVP for me. I was great seeing the old guys back together here, seeing Honeydew and Beaker.
I love the chalk animations.
The
but
chalk
maybe-
animation is great. Yeah.
Yeah, this might be my lowest ranked of them.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Like, I appreciate the science stuff, but I don't know, maybe a little, poor Beaker.
I gotta tell you, my problem with this sketch is that I don't think this sketch is different enough than the usual Beaker and Honeydew stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like this is just kind of more of the same, which is fine.
Like, this time they straight up say Beaker is expendable.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
I think
that's
was
a bit-
honestly, I do think this was maybe a little bit too mean-spirited, because
Yeah.
I think the gag has always been that Honeydew was almost like maliciously unaware of how much he was hurting Beaker. You know what I mean? Like,
And he still is, but now he's emotionally unaware, where he's basically
Right,
replaced
right.
him with the smart Beak, Beak R, the 2.0, the
The
Alexa
glass.
parody. What?
which
But I will say,
It's where Beaker reminds me of Gladys from Portal.
oh yeah.
Okay,
Just imagine Portal where it's Beaker running around, as the main character. With the portal gun.
No, but seriously,
Right.
this is the.
Someone needs to make that fan game.
Yes.
But seriously, this is. I think this has done the best with kind of modernizing the Muppets. It's taking full advantage of the premise of modernizing the Muppets with this little this Alexa thing for Beaker, and now he deals with it. Like that Beaker gets
Did
one up
anyone
at
else
the end.
predict that he was gonna burn it?
Yeah,
I
kind
saw
of.
that coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you guys.
I will say,
I'm
I will
sick of Alexa parodies. I am fucking sick of Alexa parodies. If I don't see another Alexa parody for the rest of my life, I will be happy. I am sick of it. It's always
I
the
am
same
now
joke
convinced-
over and over again.
Okay, I'm now convinced to make an Alexa with the voice of Hipster Donald.
Oh,
Oh,
dear God, do it. Do it.
If I knew how.
Right. But
I
just
will say-
generally speaking, I feel like Alexa parodies are low hanging fruit, and that mixed with the fact that, and of course, I just preface this by like points for subjectivity, Stephen, and all that. Dragon, I absolutely respect the fact that you like it so much, but like the fact that the Alexa parody has been so overplayed in pop culture in the last couple of years, mixed with, I gotta say, the Alexa episode of South Park is what got me to stop watching South Park. It was just I was done with it. But I don't know, I just feel like this mixed with the fact that it's just more Beaker and Honeydew, like it's not really doing anything new with the concept of Beaker and Honeydew. I don't know, man. If this was a Geekvolution feeling it, not feeling it, I would flip my sign to not feeling it.
Don't just invoke Geekvolution to try to make your point.
We're talking Beaker, so meat pollution.
Right.
Yeah,
will
God, I
say,
love
though,
that. Just that dead forward stare Beaker has when he lifts up the button to burn. That's one of my that's a one of the bigger laughs of the episode for me.
I think my favorite segment in this, well, the mini segment within a segment, I guess you could say, is I really liked Melt or Burn.
Yep.
I love how Dr. Honey becomes a little bit of a pyromaniac. Yes, more things to burn. And that's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to remember. Maybe the first time I watched this, I was flashing back to a college chemistry class where we would watch like things on fire.
Oh God!
Like watch fires. That was cool.
All right.
Green fire, green and purple fire.
Yeah. And it was like really nice to see Beaker kind of win the day for once.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There's a bunch of new stuff in this.
Beaker asks a question. Me.
Oh God. I don't know, man. I feel like it has potential. It's just like I said. Like I'm hung up on the fact that it's yeah. There's maybe a little bit more dimension, but it's still kind of generally speaking the same basic format that we've always had with Beaker and Honeydew. I don't know.
It sort of feels like it could be its own standalone, like just educational, edutaining YouTube video.
Right. It's got a Bill Nye vibe to it, which that's not a bad thing. Classic Bill Nye, not current Bill Nye.
Now, if Bill Nye showed up as a gag,
that's how they could have redone Universe of Energy. Just have the host be Beaker and Honeydew.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. But
Disney doesn't use the Muppets.
but Bill Nye would be a good guest star
Biggie
here.
Wayne.
Right?
Biggie Wayne, you're going.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Bill Nye would be a good guest star here.
Yeah.
Anything else with the sketch, guys? We're kind of running short on time here.
ran very long for me.
I'm honestly glad Beaker won't be coming back, presumably.
Yeah.
Well, Beaker did say they'd be back.
Well, if they can find a funny way to do that, that would be fun.
It's like an Ultron situation where it just always gets uploaded into a new device.
And then they have the it's corpse hanging in the Muppet Vision queue.
Oh God! All right. Okay, now let's get into Lifesty with Miss Piggy.
So my thesis is that the gag with where Piggy wants all the stuff in the drink and then is like, no, I'm not thirsty. That is the new chocolate pudding at 4 a.m. Where's your chocolate pudding, Miss Piggy? Oh, that's okay, Deadly. I'm not hungry anymore.
I'm just gonna call out the funniest, maybe the hardest I laughed the whole episode, which is when Miss Piggy falls down and faints, and Tay Diggs is just like, "Is she gonna be okay?" And then Deadly's just like, "Meh." just the way that is puppeteered, that the little lip movement is just perfect. It's perfect.
So some praise for Matt Vogel from you this time.
Yes.
Well, there's always going to be praise with Uncle Deadly.
Matt Vogel's always killed it as Deadly. Yeah, no problem there.
Deadly has never dropped the ball, ever.
Yeah. I think we all kind of feel the same way, where it's like there is definitely funny stuff in this sketch, to be sure.
It outstayed its welcome.
It absolutely did. Absolutely.
Overstayed its welcome, yeah.
And I think that I'm going to be genuinely disappointed if it pops up for a third week in a row. Not because I don't love the Miss Piggy and Deadly thing, because I do, but just because I feel like the show maybe is leaning on it a little too much.
Right.
I wouldn't mind seeing it again, but what I want different is I want different guest stars in it, because nothing against, I love Linda Cardellini, but I mean, she was funny here. Don't get me wrong.
Cardellini, as they say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Linda the Car, like they kept it, they spiced it up, sure. But I'm saying if I see Tay Diggs one more time, I mean, I'm saying it's funny.
Don't you dare diss on Tay Diggs, buddy.
I'm saying it's yet again Tay Diggs.
Diggs is charming as fuck. All right.
Yes, he's charming. I mean, I think it's funny the whole way. I think it's really funny the whole. You're all the heat I need, Tay. That's funny. But that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying yet again. Like I wouldn't mind seeing it, but if we're gonna see it, let's switch it out a little bit. Put Tay Diggs in a different sketch. I don't know.
I thought pigs weren't able to.
I'd be down to see Tay Diggs in a different sketch.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's
I-
the old saying is that sweating like a pig. So I'd imagine it would.
I
probably be
thought that was
accurate.
why they like roll in mud because pigs don't sweat. Of course, I'm just taking that from an episode of Garfield and Friends, so who knows?
Right.
Oh,
Well,
God.
Anyway, let's see. But yes, the Zoom call. So again, there's one topic. The Zoom call always brought different people into. We have Yolanda and Bubba. We have Linda, the Carlene, and Jeff the Penguin.
Yeah.
I love that-
bird that can't fly.
He's in really good shape.
Yeah.
It was nice to see Yolanda, though I'm kind of surprised we saw Yolanda before we saw Rizzo in the show.
Well, we had
Is
Rizzo
that why
in text
Bubba's
last
with her
episode.
instead of Rizzo? Like maybe they didn't have someone for Rizzo yet.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that the thing falling behind them at the end was real, like was unintended.
Probably.
All right. Anything else with this sketch, guys?
Eh,
The Big City runner's pretty funny.
yeah.
Piggy's allergic to fruits and vegetables. Big Ziti, Linda the Cartellini. It's pretty funny.
All right. Okay,
Chocolate
so final thoughts, gentlemen.
Yeah, all right. Looking forward to the next episodes. Hope they get
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah, I'm excited for the next episode. I'm hoping it continues this path and is even better than the second one.
I too looking forward to where it goes from here because this was a great improvement from the pilot, and I think they're on the absolute right track. If we can keep it like this, Okey Dokey Kookin and the Muppet Labs, I think we're in pretty good shape.
I appreciate the upward trend. I hope that it keeps going up. I hope that we get more sketches.
I agree with the more new sketches thing. I think that maybe was my biggest problem with this episode was as much as I loved Okey Dokey Kookin and as much as I think that Miss Piggy had its moments, it kind of took me aback a little bit that half the sketches were repeated from last week. I want to see more variety. I want to see more characters. That's to me, that's the one thing that the show is missing is maybe like more interplay between the different Muppets. So we'll see where it goes. I also think that this show, I don't think it'll happen just because I feel like the show has a pretty locked in format. But I honestly think if you cut a minute off of every sketch and then gave those minutes to an additional fifth sketch, I think it would work wonders in terms of pacing and variety.
Yeah.
It could be nice.
So, all right. I think that's about it. Big thanks to Claude Coringa for joining us in the comments. All right, that'll do it for us this week as we holster our remotes till the next installment calls for the draw. Mano a mano, just Plus and us. They're spicy.